So, tell me, young bear, why was your aunt so interested in Rumi Rock?
We don't know, Mr. Hunter. The Reverend Mother said she was looking for something.
She was wasting her time. Rumi Rock is just a bunch of old stones.
Bunch of old stones that, according to legend, is the first step to finding El Dorado.
What? You mean... Nice chips.
Saturday night, myself and my wife went to see the new Paddington Bear movie, Paddington in Peru. Has it retained the magic that made its predecessors classics? Or, like Paddington's Aunt Lucy, has the charm gone missing? So, what did I think? Paddington, voiced by Ben Whishaw, and the Brown family go to Peru to see Paddington's Aunt Lucy at the home for retired bears, only to be informed by the Reverend Mother, played by Olivia Colman, that Aunt Lucy has disappeared. Now Paddington and the Browns, aided by riverboat captain Hunter Cabot, played by Antonio Banderas, must search for Aunt Lucy, a search that will lead to the lost city of El Dorado and its greatest treasure. The sequel. Or in this case, the threequel, where a film tries to emulate the success of the predecessor that spawned it. But the problem for most sequels is they have nothing to say that wasn't already said. So, in a well-worn industry trope to convince audiences to return to the theatre just one more time, a choice is often made to put those characters you loved in the last film in new, unfamiliar situations to give the illusion that this picture has something new and exciting to say, and not just a rehash of what has come before. And the easiest way is to send those characters abroad. A tradition that stretches back decades and can work. But for every French Connection too, there's a Deuce Bigalow European Gigolo. For every Karate Kid too, there's a Sex and the City too. So, does Paddington Goes to Peru reinvigorate the series and have something new and witty to say? The answer is, sadly not. Now, I don't want to come across as too negative, but the problem is, Paddington in Peru follows Paddington 2, in my opinion, one of the films of the century so far. A children's tale on the surface, but underneath a story about love, loyalty, friendship, belonging, and family, and puts it all into a film 104 minutes in length. What we get with Paddington in Peru is, at best, competent filmmaking by numbers. Within moments of the film starting, you realise that the magic that made the first two Paddingtons so special is no longer there. Director Dougal Wilson, best known for his John Lewis Christmas ads in his feature film debut, does his best in replacing Paddington 2 director Paul King. Now, there's nothing wrong with his directing, but neither does he show the same flair for directing slapstick that King made his own in the previous films. Here, those moments are few and far between, and when they do occur, instead of being visually original, they seem instead to be lifted from films like Raiders of the Lost Ark or the work of Buster Keaton, while the screenplay falls into the trap of so many sequels, assuming repeating catchphrases and moments from previous movies is the same as substance, erasing lessons learned and any development characters have achieved. Mr. Brown, who had learnt already twice before to live a little bit more dangerously, is once again obsessed with playing it safe. The screenwriters apparently have also forgotten that the charm of Paddington is this bear from Peru coping with day-to-day life in London. By placing Paddington and the Browns in the jungle, this at times feels not so much the third part of the Paddington trilogy, but a poor wannabe imitator of Indiana Jones in the style of 1985's King Solomon's Mines with Richard Chamberlain. For the grown-ups in the audience, one of the bonuses of the Paddington movies have always been the performances. And once again, Paddington in Peru does not fail.
Mostly.
The one distraction is the recasting of Emily Mortimer as Mary Brown after Sally Hawkins chose not to return to the role. Now, there's nothing wrong with Mortimer's performance as such. It's just that Hawkins was so pitch perfect as Mary Brown that this feels like The Mummy 3 when they replaced Rachel Weisz with Maria Bello? Olivia Colman as the Mother Superior of the Home for Retired Bears is a joy, who, when not doing musical numbers imitating Julie Andrews, feels the need to end every few sentences by proclaiming loudly, "Nothing suspicious here." But the film belongs to Antonio Banderas as the gold-hungry riverboat captain. Banderas shows his comedic talent in a performance playing multiple characters of the same family that more than echoes Alec Guinness in Kind Hearts and Cornets. Now, as I said, I didn't wish to come off as too harsh. This is still an entertaining movie. It's just, it lacks something that makes it more than just another movie on a Saturday night.
Order. 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 Knock it off!
Paddington in Peru is not a bad movie. And from the laughter of the children in the cinema I was in, kids will love it. But the makers of this made one fatal error. See, if you stick around, during the credits, there's a cameo scene. And not only is it the funniest moment in the entire film, but is there, it seems, to remind us how much better Paddington 2 was. I don't think that's the message the filmmakers were planning on. Paddington in Peru is in cinemas here and in Great Britain now, and opens in January in North America. It isn't a waste of time, and will make the kids laugh. But for the first time in the Paddington series, it's not a classic, just an entertaining film you'll watch once and never think of again.
Please, sir, I want some more. More? All right, stop it. Stop it right there. Go on, fill up the bowl.
And if you liked this episode of So What Did I Think and want to see more, please click like and subscribe. Remember, always subscribe. Thanks for watching.